I absolutely love snowmobiling. Snowmobiling is one of my biggest passions. I grew up a Polaris kid. It was like, if I could design snowmobiles for Polaris, that would be like the dream job. My name's Josh Mickelson. I work as a development engineer at Polaris. So I grew up in a very, call it mechanical household. My grandpa started an auto repair business when he got back from the military back in the 60s. My dad just inherited the business from him, so he's been running the business for over 40 years now. He loves motorsports, loves snowmobiling, so we spend a lot of time turning wrenches, building stuff from scratch. Dad always jokes that he got sick and tired of pulling me out, getting stuck in the plowed driveway, so he got me a Polaris. Once I was on a 120, joke was over. I was riding as much as I possibly could. We rode a lot around Minnesota growing up, just on the weekends and after school and stuff. But ultimately going out west was, kind of the pinnacle. My first trip out west, I was on an old Indy 500. It had a 133, so big mountain track stuff. We had to put a low-cut windshield on there so I could, fit in with the guys while I was out there. It's been at least once a year, more like 2 or 3 times a year, all the way through school that we would go out west. My dad is the one who kind of taught me how to ride. He'd always joke with me that if you can't start your sled, you ain't going riding. So I would always be, just everything I could do, both feet on the running boards and roping my sled over to get it to go. And I learned a lot from him, a lot of the basics, how to carve and, get the sled on edge. It's been a steep learning curve, but it's a lot of fun too. Back in the day, you weren't very confident to even tip the sled over without being worried about tipping it over on you. And now I feel comfortable to drop into any ravine or go into anywhere and just, you're there to explore and see what the sled can do. I just kind of set my goal for going to school to be an engineer when I was in, early high school. We had a really good school to work program at my high school. And eventually I got an internship at this company that taught me how to run SolidWorks on CAD. The whole time in the background, I was just thinking, I got to figure out how to, go work on sleds. So I was down at Haydays, and I happened to see Jared Sessions, who worked for Boondocker at the time. Those guys said, well, if you want to come out and work for us, then you certainly can. I ended up working with those guys, but I still kind of had my goals set on working at Polaris. So I came back, ended up getting an offer for an internship, and ended up doing a design internship. And then the following summer, I came back up to Roseau and got into the snow group. It's still surreal to me, the stuff that we get to work on. You walk in the shop and, I'm just thankful. It's a rare opportunity to get to do what I get to do and to work with the people that I get to work with. It is kind of crazy being on one side of the fence versus now being behind the wall. The perspective I have now being a Polaris employee is that it's a lot more family orientated versus the big corporate company that it sometimes can seem to be from the outside. There's not a lot of sports or recreational sports or power sports or anything that people are more passionate about than snowmobiling. And that is true within our group. Just being focused around what our riders like and what they want helps us to work on stuff and make our sleds better every day. If you're putting a smile on somebody's face when they're out riding a snowmobile, they got a big grin behind their helmet, that's what makes me work. Gives you a sense of pride and you learn something new every day.